Hello and welcome to the Sweaty Farmer and the news. We are not real reporters, but we as human gamers have a valid opinion. This is a weekly show where we discuss some of the most important news in the gaming world. I am the long-name gamers, the Sweaty.
And I am Lucho the farmer. Thanks for coming together this week to talk about some relevant news.
And in the docket we have 4 WoW Classic players beat the most iconic raid boss completely naked without any gear. Twitch says US Army fake giveaways violated its rules, and Destiny 2 big Beyond Light expansion delayed until November. So, crazy stuff happening in WoW Classic. A 40 raid party just made the most, one of the most iconic because of all the memes and stuff, raid boss completely without zero gear in their underwear. Basically.
That is funny.
Yeah, insane. And I love it because the YouTube videos that have the kill and explain how is it possible, have the classic meme sound of that 15-year-old raid leader when he was explaining to kill Onyxia and saying DPS is slowly more dots.
Oh, the dots. Yeah.
And slowly.
The infamous.
Yeah, the infamous raid leader going nuts about killing Onyxia. Oh my god.
Yeah.
So.
It's so good.
So, what is the point of boredom when you go and try to do insane stuff in a game? Tell me about it, Lucho.
I don't think that. I think it speaks to. I mean, I don't want this to sound diminishing of the game, but
yeah,
classic World of Warcraft or vanilla World of Warcraft is a dated game by today's standards, and people have spent years, if not decades, getting good at WoW.
Definitely. But for those of you that have no context about this and are wondering how, because raid bosses are the hardest, most dangerous and hit hard content there is in any game that have raids, right? So basically, what I'm reading here, it was the thing is apparently mages don't need that much gear to hit hard; they just need level, right? That for one side, and the other thing is how the other problem that they were trying to solve is so if you have no gear, then the melee people, so the tanks that should keep the attention of the boss, have no way to hit the boss, right? So how do they keep the attention of the boss so the boss doesn't turn around and melts all the naked mages in one attack, right? That was the second problem they had to solve. So basically it's they were hitting the boss at the beginning of the raid. They have one tank, which was the one assigned to keep the threat on the boss, and he would call the threat with taunt abilities, tell them, oh yeah, pay attention to me. But to avoid the mages getting all the threat, they will attack him slowly till he get his first cooldown of an attack. Well, it's not an attack, it's a buff that buffs all the other players, and that specific buff of the paladin in this case, that was the tank that was tanking this, give him insane amount of threats. The fact that he was casting that buff was the way that they keep threat on the boss. Yep. So they did kind of a rotation of hitting the boss slowly, then hit the big button, the tank generates a bunch of threat, and then they hit the boss with everything, big spells, till the buff resets, and then they hit it slowly. And then they brought a bunch of ice mages to keep all the mobs that Onyxia spawns, the little whelps and all that, controlled. And that's the way they do it. And of course, with a Basilium war buffs in WoW Classic, Like apparently, no. I don't know how that works. Do you know how that works? How the word buffs works? Do you go and do something?
basically go around the world doing things or talking to NPCs, and you collect like this 2 hour long buffs to different stats.
Oh, so they're like an hour, 2 hour long?
Yeah.
All right. So
basically you coordinate everyone to go around collecting their buffs. And once everyone is buffed, they go into
the location and start the raid?
Yep.
Insane. 40-man raid doing this, like a bunch, like 12 frost mages doing all the crowd control and hitting the boss. And because Onyxia is a flying boss, so the fact that you have range is very, very convenient. So they don't have. They keep DPS in the boss even when it is flying. That was the original problem from the melee. Yeah.
I mean, again, it speaks to me more about how better the community understands the game now.
Yeah.
And how much more difficult, in a sense, raid bosses have become. Like if you objectively look at the boss encounters, like vanilla versus Legion or BFA or whatever you want to call Modern WoW.
Yeah.
There's a huge step up in difficulty in mechanics and
what you have to do. Yeah. Because what
splitting raid, specific roles, specific things.
Because what are the mechanics of Onyxia? She is a dragon, so she has a cone attack, right? And then she spawns some eggs that if you hit them will spawn ads, and she will spawn some ads like once in a while, right? And for a big raid boss, that's kind of simplistic. He's just a dragon, right? That's what we have kind of like right here.
I mean, it has more things that go wrong.
Of course,
it has a lot of trash.
Yeah.
But the point is that the core, like what this shows, that the core mechanics that you have to keep in control to avoid wiping, are not that many.
Yeah. So but like, and I don't think this will be possible like when the game originally launched. Like this level of theory crafting and stuff.
No, of course not. Like that again. That's what it speaks to. It speaks about how much more the community understands the inner workings of the game.
Yeah, and like these kind of things. This kind of things always happen. Like eventually, you have like crazy runs in raid bosses. Even right now, I've seen like Nihilota clearing with only tanks, or like Nihilota clearing with only mages. But like this is the extreme, like going without.
There was one guy stacking. I don't remember. There was one guy like soloing Nihilota bosses.
The one where he was stacking a specific corruption, right?
Yeah, and they basically changed how like now you can edit like infinite amounts of corruption.
So somebody break the fundamental of the game. Or like, we should patch that. You shouldn't be able to one-shot raid bosses by yourself.
and they did patch it. Like now you cannot. I think you can stack up to 100 corruption.
No, okay.
And after that, you are dealt like 25% of your health in damage.
So it just kills you
every second.
Yeah, so it just kills you. Right? Of course, it makes sense. What happened
as soon
before?
As you enter combat.
What happened before? What was the last effect? It was like a shadow, something like that.
So after 40, you get the little guy that starts following you around.
Yeah.
And after that, like you gain a huge debuff to damage and a huge buff to damage dealt.
Yeah. In the end, the final one was like something that deal you damage or something like that.
That was the one. That was the last one. Like it was not something that deals damage. It was a huge debuff to your damage and a huge buff to the damage that you receive.
All right. So, and that wasn't a problem to proc in all the insane.
I mean, if you can, if you with certain classes, you can avoid taking damage.
And
or you can heal through a certain amount of damage, and if you're careful enough, you can survive.
Yeah.
There are classes that have a lot of survivability,
So this, like, in now in modern days, these insane things eventually happen. Like somebody find like a crazy loophole, or somebody stack enough X things to go into modern raid and force them that way, even through damage or like through resistance, like the tank run. But like
I think the tank run, it doesn't really rely on resistance more than you require all the tanks to have Twilight Devastation.
So they deal damage while they're tanking?
It deals a lot of damage, and they just survive the fight waiting for the perks to go on.
Okay.
That's basically what the fight is.
Yeah, so just like aberrations on the borrowed power system that corruption has.
And there are certain fights where the mechanics don't target the tanks or healers.
Oh, all right, yeah. So they just like shut down some mechanics because they do not place buttons.
Yeah, that just don't happen.
Cool. But to the stream that being in a raid without no gear, I haven't seen it like in my time playing WoW.
I mean, it is definitely a feat of strength for sure. Not to diminish the feat, but I'm just saying that I'm not that surprised that it happened.
Yeah. But in a lot of theory crafting, and they were very careful and discovered the buff that to keep like the boss with the tank, like engaged with the tank was very clever. So that's cool. Like this is. It's ridiculous, but it's really cool to have that happen.
It is really cool.
Yeah.
It is.
All right, on the next docket, Twitch US Army fake giveaway violated its rules. So apparently, you know that there is a game which is called American's Army, right?
No.
There's since 2000, and I'll tell you this, since 2005, I think it's that old, 2006, the US government built a training simulation game, right? But they did it so well that the game became free-to-play kind of competitive thing, right? His own thing. Like I remember playing like American's US Army as an FPS, and it's really good because like it's kind of realistic, but it doesn't have that many gaming things, and like if you play PvP, is really engaging to play as a game, like as baseline game, right? And is that all like the platform? And it was originally conceived as a recruitment tool, right? To get gamers into the army, right? That was the idea of American's Army, and it's a free-to-play.
Sure.
Yeah, and it's a free-to-play FPS kind of Counter-Strike type of game, right? And it's actually good. It's well designed. It's like it has good itemization and that sort of stuff.
Do you remember the Simpsons episode where Bart becomes part of a boy band?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
That is controlled by the Navy, I think.
Yes.
And they're slipping subliminary messages into
the songs.
Into a song.
Yeah, to recruit people.
So when you play it backwards, it says join the army.
Yeah.
Join the Navy.
Something like that.
That's what it is.
Exactly. And it's been like, this game is old, man. This game has been old. Like I tested it when it was like a little bit popular. Like it was an alternative to Counter-Strike. More realistic, interesting gameplay, good gameplay. Like the game is actually good to play in a competitive stance, right? Because of the of the realistic fundamentals that it has, right? So yeah, I know. So as keeping up with the times, they eventually made esports kind of thing of the game, right? And still keeping in with the trends, they open a Twitch channel to stream the game, to stream American US Army. And the interesting part of the channel is like the majority of the esports players are soldiers.
Cool.
That's pretty cool. And they stream on the channel, right? But that's not the problem. The problem is like they suddenly in the middle of the quarantine became super aggressive, and they fake a giveaway in Twitch where when you watch for set, you know how Twitch drops works, right?
Yep.
So basically, what happened is like you get a drop from watching American US Army game being played on the stream, and then that drop you will redirect you to a recruitment form.
Yeah, okay.
And you have to fill the recruitment form to actually get a drop in the game.
Oh, that's shady.
Yeah, exactly. And so now Twitch is open litigation. Like they're investigating the case because you are not, like, you should not be able to carry promotions like that. Like they're strictly violating the Twitch drop rules for doing that, for like directing people to a recruitment forum with Twitch drops.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense.
So super shady. Like, we're all like, it's fine. If you use a game for recruiting in the army, it's fine. It's been done like forever. Like US Army by now has like around 10 years of existing.
No, the problem is not that. The problem is misleading.
Exactly.
People. It's not about the game.
Yeah. And like this comes on the heels of like last week's problem when they were being attacked about like army army violating human rights.
Yeah, they were being raided by viewers as like war crimes in the stream and stuff like that.
So now this is another problem, that they will be violating rules, trying to hard recruit people through drops.
It is. Like, I find it commendable that the army is willing to put together an esports team.
Yeah.
But it just, I mean, it sounds like war and all that kind of stuff is such a sensitive topic for most people. That they're opening themselves to those kinds of quote-unquote attacks, and I don't know. It's kind of weird that they like they know how the internet works, thinking, oh, that's not gonna happen. I don't know. Like didn't someone tell like that may not be such a good idea?
Yeah, I know.
because the internet is a vicious place. Like.
Yeah, that is true.
It's an interesting decision. That's all I'll say.
Yeah, so we'll keep an eye on this. I wonder what is gonna happen, if they're gonna like actually ban the channel if this keeps happening, because I don't know, Twitch already like ban or like did a round of ban of bad streamers doing bad practices. Of course, I understand like getting involved with the US Army is like a tricky subject.
It is a tricky subject, but you hope. I mean, Twitch is a private company.
That's true, yeah.
And for better or for worse, the internet is kind of up to some degree, is a free place for everyone. You know, like it's the whole thing of like the net neutrality and all the stuff. Like no content should be nor controlled nor forced into an audience.
Correct.
And that kind of thing extends to. I mean, Twitch is a private company, and they should. I bet most users, like streamers, would want Twitch to be a fair place where they can compete.
Yes.
If there is a streamer, and in this case the streamer happens to be the US Army, that's out of the question. But if there is a streamer, they getting preferential treat for no real reason more than but just they are the government. That takes away from the fairness of the platform and how it is perceived. Like, okay, then this is not a fair. It is not a fair place for us to be here because we are not that powerful, so we're not getting the same benefits, you know. And that opens the question of then how unfair, like we already know that it's hard to start as a small streamer and do that. Partners have a lot of benefits and that bigger names on the platform receive a lot of perks, I guess.
Yeah.
Or that they have more influence on the decisions, and that fair enough because Twitch is still a business.
Yeah, correct. Yeah.
But up to some degree, you feel that it's fair. Like if you break the rules, consequences are going to be carried no matter who you are, and that's what all the banning waves and things are.
Yeah, exactly.
So if that is lost and the confidence of the content creators is lost on the platform, I wonder how much that will hurt.
Yeah, I'm expecting that they at least have a ban, like not a total like nuke away from the platform, but I think at least like a week ban or something like, or like a month ban or something like that, as per the normal Twitch rules. I think that's in order.
They should handle it how they would handle any situation with no preferential
treatment. Yeah, that's correct. Anyways, and for a final news in the docket, Destiny 2's big Beyond Light expansion delayed until November. It was supposed to come on September, and now they move it up 1 month away. The thing is that now they're in this month. Like the big thing, that the big discussion has been around, like, we understand that delays is going to happen because of the current situation that we're in. They're not working as efficient in the studio. They're working from home, etc., etc. So like a delay was being expected, more so than this expansion is going to not only add content to the game, but it's going to change a lot of things about the game. Income sunsetting, incomes vaulting, incomes like modifications to systems apparently, because all that content is going away. Where they're gonna put all the like still accessible content from those planets that they're gonna remove from the game, because they have a bunch of like exotics and things that they promise that they're not gonna remove from the game. Like exotics in Destiny are supposed to be evergreen, but there's a bunch of exotics tied to places that they have to like sort out how to give to the player base in a reasonable manner. And is understandable. The big thing about this is like now they're gonna compete with a bunch of other releases in November, right? We have Cyberpunk 2077 in the same month, which is the big one, and there's like another 2 big games releasing in November alongside with Destiny 2 Beyond Light, and for sure that will hurt.
Even for that, like even in that regard, like the Shadowlands is expected to drop somewhere around the same time. Most people are putting their money on
November,
on late October, somehow November.
Yeah,
and because it is just unlikely that they will launch the expansion in the middle of the holiday.
Yeah. And like last time when they remember that Shadowkeep, which was last year expansion, was supposed to come out in October. And they delayed a little bit, and it was launching at the same time. Like they delayed it because they don't want to launch at the same time as Borderlands 3. Do you remember that?
Mm-hmm.
That last year we were playing Borderlands, and then we will go to Shadowkeep. And now they are getting that awkward position, and everybody says like it's a shame because they practically had September for their own, right? There was nothing else launching in September. There's
nothing.
Yeah, there was nothing else big.
It's the same audience.
Yeah, exactly. There's nothing else big. Other people are more like optimistic. They say like, oh, they compete with Borderlands 3 and they were fine, right? But right now they're competing like with another like 3 big games, and that for sure is gonna hurt the numbers in terms of Destiny 2 Beyond Light. So what do you think about it? Like, I feel like it was necessary for them to do the delay. I think they probably like discuss it a bunch because of the release window. But like sometimes you have no options. I guess. Like it's gonna be bad because it's gonna be a pretty bossy month, right?
It depends.
All right.
When you don't have to answer that much to the money people.
Yeah.
So release windows become more flexible.
Fair enough. Yeah, of course. Yeah. Yeah, and that's
So
always good.
You have less pressure. It's good or is bad. Like just that the pressure is not there doesn't mean that it won't have a financial effect.
Yeah, of course.
Like even more if you're quote unquote a small team developing a smaller game. And by small I mean, let's say what the Bungie team is now, or what the is now.
Yes.
Which they don't with their big releases. They don't completely abide by the usual release windows, but they're still aware that dropping big content in the middle of a big game releasing is just a bad idea.
Correct. Yes.
So they don't have to completely follow the convention.
Yeah.
Because in my head, they're now more of an indie developer.
Yeah.
So I don't see that much. Like and if it is gonna benefit the game in the long run, sure, go for it. Like the thing is, if they're really committed to developing Destiny 2 for years to come, whatever that means.
Yeah.
It's probably and if this delay, even if it means that they're gonna release ad window and they're gonna compete, if it is gonna be better for the game in the long run, and this means not like for next year, but like the long run for the next 5 years. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Then go for it.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But I don't know. That depends on a lot of things. How committed is Bungie to Destiny 2?
Well, I think that Destiny 2 is the lifeline of Bungie right now. Like, is what is keeping the lights on their studio. And after they announced it, other 3 years of content, and they're not gonna do Destiny 3 and blah blah blah, all these things. I think they're pretty committed. I think it was a hard decision, but probably the correct one because of all the delays and all the changes they're gonna do. In this particular expansion, because last time the only changes that we got is we got an extra planet with content, and we got a little change to the armor system. That was it, right? In this particular expansion, we're gonna have fundamental systems to what Destiny is. We're gonna have a new power thing. There are rumors about they giving away with the tree systems with this new power stuff coming in Beyond Light and make it a lot more flexible. That's just rumors, but that's the best approach about it. So that means when with all the content that they're gonna move from one point to another, so that means really fundamental changes to the game. They're gonna compress a lot of the content in the game. So I wish them the best of lucks, because I think this is a very important change and expansion for Destiny, right? Not unlike last year, I will say that, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
I still believe that. Scrap it all.
You'll still not check it out. Or maybe you will.
No, I still believe that maybe a option for Destiny is just to scrap it all and
I know.
Do Destiny Online. World of Destiny.
World of Destiny. Yeah. Relaunch it. Scrap it, relaunch it. World of Destiny.
Not even relaunch it, but rework a lot of the systems that don't work.
Yeah. That's that. Well, yeah, but NG
they are committed apparently. So
yeah. So best of luck to them. We'll check them out in November. I will probably if Shadowlands comes in this window, I will probably not check out Destiny Beyond Light till December or something like that. To be completely honest, if Shadowlands comes in November or October, I'll be full on Shadowlands, eating that quest lines and progressing to the game, and then I'll probably go and play Cyberpunk 2077 when it comes out, right? If Shadowlands is not yet there, then I'll probably check Destiny 2's Beyond Light on release. I will say that about that. That
makes sense.
Yep.
I fear that my most reasonable prediction for Shadowlands, like my heart tells me that it's December just because I don't wanna illusion myself.
Yeah.
But the most realistic window is probably end of October, in preparation for the holidays.
Yeah. So
that's just probably what that means.
Yeah, and that probably kills any reasonable things of like, which is fine. Like I was already planning of giving Beyond Light a breeding room and see how it pans out before checking it out. So yeah. Well, and that's it for the news. That is it.
That is true. That's all for this week news with the Sweaty Farmer and the Farmer. My name is Lucho, and you can find me on Twitter at LuisGPolanco.
And I am the Loin Gamer, and you can find me on Twitter at the Loin Gamer and on Twitch on twitch.tv/LoinGamer, where I stream Mondays to Fridays. Don't forget to share, like, subscribe, comment in the tell section if you are watching us on YouTube. Leave us a star, a like, a follow, or anything that...
A comment.
Yeah. A compliment or anything that you want to leave us in whatever platform you are hearing us. From your phone or from your computer. And that's it. Thank you to be here. In the Sweaty the Farmer and the news. See you next time.
Bye.
Bye.